Breaking news, family. Wang Yibo has finally revealed the shocking truth behind his sudden marriage to Xiao Zhan, and fans all over the world can't believe what they're hearing. This revelation has left the internet buzzing, with supporters celebrating and critics in total disbelief. What really happened? Why now? And how is this shaking up the entire entertainment industry? Stick with me until the very end, because this story is about to blow your mind. Welcome back to Trendy Explosion TV, your #1 spot for the hottest celebrity updates, shocking twists, and jaw-dropping truths from the entertainment world. If you're new here, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, smash the like, and turn on your notification bell so you never miss any breaking update. So, what exactly did Wang Yibo reveal? After weeks of speculation, rumors, and endless fan theories, Yibo decided to break the silence and speak directly about his marriage to Xiao Zhan. According to him, this wasn't a decision made overnight. It wasn't a publicity stunt, and it definitely wasn't something pushed by outsiders. He admitted that the bond between him and Xiao Zhan had been growing stronger over the years, starting from their unforgettable drama that shook the world. Behind the cameras, their connection deepened in ways fans only dreamed about. Yibo revealed that choosing Xiao Zhan was about more than just romance, it was about loyalty, trust, and building a life together despite the odds. The shocking part? Yibo confessed that they had been preparing for this step for a long time, quietly navigating challenges, pressure, and even industry pushback. And when the moment finally came, he decided it was better to reveal the truth than continue living under a shadow of speculation. As expected, the news hit like an earthquake. Fans flooded social media, some celebrating this as the ultimate fairy tale come true, while others expressed shock, saying they never thought two of Asia's biggest stars would actually confirm something this bold. Entertainment insiders are now calling this a turning point, not just for their careers, but for the entire Asian entertainment industry. Marriage between two megastars of their caliber is already rare, but Yibo and Xiao Zhan's story is something truly unprecedented. And here's the most interesting part, Yibo admitted that keeping it a secret was more stressful than the backlash they expected. In his words, love is worth the risk. Powerful, right? And family, as shocking as Wang Yibo's confession about his sudden marriage to Xiao Zhan was, the story doesn't end there. The reactions pouring in from fans, brands, and the entire entertainment industry are just as explosive, and they might decide what happens next in this fairy tale turned reality. Let's start with the fans. For years, Yibo and Xiao Zhan's supporters have shipped them, written stories about them, and dreamed of this exact moment. So when the marriage news broke, social media erupted with hashtags trending worldwide within minutes. Some fans are calling it the ultimate victory, proof that their bond was always more than just on-screen chemistry. Others admit they're still in shock, trying to process such a life-changing announcement. But one thing is clear, the loyalty of their fandom has never been stronger, and that loyalty might be the shield that protects them against any backlash. Now, the business side is a little more complicated. Wang Yibo and Xiao Zhan aren't just celebrities, they're brands. Every campaign, endorsement, and contract they sign is worth millions. Some companies are cheering them on, seeing this as an opportunity to align with inclusivity and love. But behind the scenes, others are reportedly nervous, worried about how conservative markets will react. Will this marriage cost them sponsorship deals, or will it actually make them more powerful as a couple brand? Only time will tell, but right now, their popularity has skyrocketed, which makes it hard for any brand to walk away. And what about the entertainment industry? Insiders say producers and directors are scrambling to figure out what this means for future projects. Some are excited, believing this marriage will attract global attention and give their projects instant success. Others, though, are cautious, worried about censorship, controversy, or losing certain markets. But here's the twist, with their fanbase this massive, Yibo and Xiao Zhan may have already reached a point where they don't need the industry as much as the industry needs them. That's real power. Family, we've seen the shock, we've heard the confession, and we've watched the world react. But behind Wang Yibo and Xiao Zhan's sudden marriage is a story most people don't know, the sacrifices, the sleepless nights, and the silent battles they had to fight before they were finally able to reveal the truth. From the very beginning, their journey wasn't easy. As two of Asia's most famous stars, every move they made was watched, analyzed, and judged. Rumors about their bond spread for years, but neither of them could speak openly. Yibo revealed that living under this kind of spotlight created incredible pressure, not just for their careers, but for their personal lives too. Imagine building a love story in private, while millions of fans and critics are speculating about you every single day. That's the kind of emotional weight they carried in silence. And let's not forget the resistance they faced from within the entertainment industry. According to insiders, some agencies warned them that going public would end their careers. They were told to stay silent, to focus only on business, and to never let their private lives become public knowledge. But instead of giving up, Yibo and Xiao Zhan stood strong. They chose to put love above fear, a decision that, while risky, is now being celebrated as one of the boldest moves in modern Asian entertainment. The hardest sacrifices, though, were personal. Friends, family, and colleagues all had opinions, and not everyone was supportive. At times, they had to distance themselves from people they cared about just to protect their bond. Yibo even admitted that the stress of secrecy sometimes made him question whether the struggle was worth it. But in the end, he said it was Xiao Zhan's loyalty and strength that kept him going. And when they finally chose to reveal their marriage, it wasn't just a declaration of love, it was a victory over years of silence and doubt. Family, if you thought Wang Yibo and Xiao Zhan's marriage revelation was the end of the story, think again. The real question now is this: what does the future hold for them as Asia's most powerful couple? Will their careers skyrocket to new heights, or will the industry try to hold them back? Let's dive into what's next for these two icons. First, let's talk about what happens when two megastars come together. Separately, Wang Yibo and Xiao Zhan are already legends, actors, singers, performers, and global influencers. But as a married couple, their brand power has doubled overnight. Imagine the projects, endorsements, and collaborations that could come their way. Producers are already whispering about a joint drama or even a film starring them both, something that could break records across Asia and beyond. The demand is massive, and the opportunities are endless. But it won't all be easy. Industry insiders believe that while some brands will race to sign them, others may back away out of fear of controversy. Certain markets may resist their union, creating potential roadblocks. The entertainment industry has always been a place of politics, image, and money, and Yibo and Xiao Zhan will now have to navigate all of that as a united front. However, the truth is, they're stronger together than apart. The question is whether the world is ready to fully embrace them. Here's the part that gives me goosebumps: their marriage has already made international headlines. Western media outlets are picking up the story, LGBTQ+ communities are hailing them as trailblazers, and global fans are rallying around them like never before. This means their influence is no longer just about Asia, they're on track to become global icons. And that's a level of fame that could open doors even Hollywood can't ignore. You've seen the shocking marriage announcement, but here's what nobody is telling you: Wang Yibo and Xiao Zhan's marriage didn't just happen overnight. Behind the scenes were intense negotiations, broken contracts, and secret deals that had to be settled before they could reveal the truth to the world. Both Wang Yibo and Xiao Zhan are tied to powerful entertainment companies, brand deals, and international contracts worth millions. Going public with their marriage wasn't as simple as making a post online. Insiders claim that some brands had to be convinced to stay on board, while others demanded early renegotiations. Imagine the pressure: every wrong move could have cost them not only money, but also their reputations. But the fact that they still came forward shows just how determined they were to take control of their own narrative. Rumors suggest that certain industry giants tried to block the announcement, fearing it would cause controversy in conservative markets. Allegedly, high-level meetings were held, where legal teams, PR specialists, and managers debated whether this revelation would destroy or redefine their careers. In the end, it seems compromises were made, some endorsements were reportedly adjusted, while others were frozen temporarily. But at the heart of it all, Yibo and Xiao Zhan stood firm, refusing to hide their truth any longer. And let's not forget the personal price. Confidential sources hint that both of them may have walked away from huge deals just to gain the freedom to go public. That's not a small decision, we're talking about millions on the line. But when love and honesty matter more than money, that's when you know this story is bigger than just entertainment. It's about taking back power from a system that tried to silence them. Family, we've talked about the sacrifices, the contracts, and the risks, but here's the shocking twist: Wang Yibo and Xiao Zhan didn't fight this battle alone. Behind the scenes, powerful allies and unexpected supporters stood by their side, quietly helping them push through one of the toughest moments of their careers. According to insiders, a few fellow celebrities offered their silent support long before the marriage news broke. Some were rumored to give personal advice, while others promised to defend them publicly if things turned ugly. These weren't just casual friendships, these were lifelines in an industry that can often feel cold and unforgiving. It's said that one A-list actor even offered to shield them from certain media attacks by taking the spotlight when needed. That's the kind of loyalty you don't often see in show business. But it didn't stop there. International fans, LGBTQ+ advocacy groups, and even some global brands were reportedly pushing from the outside, encouraging the couple to live freely. They understood that Wang Yibo and Xiao Zhan's decision could spark a cultural shift not just in Asia, but around the world. And the moment the announcement went public, these allies were ready, amplifying the news, defending them against critics, and showing that love stories like this can no longer be hidden. And perhaps the most emotional part? Some family members and close friends quietly gave their blessing, even when the risks were high. In industries like this, where family reputation can make or break careers, having that kind of unconditional love in their corner gave Yibo and Xiao Zhan the strength to step forward. This proves one thing: no matter how powerful the opposition, having even a small circle of true believers can change everything. Family, we've celebrated the love, we've uncovered the supporters, but now we have to face the darker side of this story. Because while Wang Yibo and Xiao Zhan gained powerful allies, they also awakened enemies who would rather see their marriage, and maybe even their careers, completely destroyed. Let's be real, not everyone in the entertainment world is happy about this revelation. Rumors are swirling that certain industry executives see their marriage as a threat to traditional image markets. These forces reportedly pressured networks to tone down mentions of the couple, fearing backlash in conservative regions. Whispers of boardroom meetings, secret memos, and even strategies to minimize their visibility are making fans furious. Could it be true that there are people actively trying to erase this love story from the spotlight? And it doesn't stop there. Some rivals within the industry are said to be jealous of the couple's power and influence. While Yibo and Xiao Zhan are gaining international attention, others fear being overshadowed. Behind the curtain, jealousy can turn into sabotage. From leaked rumors to manipulated headlines designed to paint them in a negative light. Remember, fame is a battlefield, and when two stars shine this brightly, shadows are bound to form around them. But the most dangerous enemies aren't always loud. Some operate in silence, manipulating opportunities, blocking contracts, or influencing media coverage in subtle ways. Fans have already noticed odd disappearances of content, unexplained delays, and sudden cancellations that raise serious questions. If true, this suggests that Wang Yibo and Xiao Zhan are not just fighting for love, but for their right to exist openly in an industry that isn't fully ready to embrace change. Family, here it is, the moment everything changed. After the secret enemies, the hidden threats, and the behind-the-scenes sabotage, there came a turning point. A moment when even the most powerful forces realized they could not stop Wang Yibo and Xiao Zhan's love story from taking over the world. At first, the enemies thought they had control. Media suppression, quiet cancellations, whispers in boardrooms. But then something unexpected happened, the fans rose up louder than ever before. Across Asia and beyond, social media lit up with hashtags, trending topics, and fan-made campaigns that no company could erase. Their love became bigger than the contracts, bigger than the industry, and too massive to contain. International media picked up the story, transforming it from a regional controversy into a global headline. Suddenly, Wang Yibo and Xiao Zhan weren't just stars, they were symbols. Symbols of truth, love, and courage in the face of resistance. And once the global spotlight locked in, the enemies had no choice but to retreat. Any attempt to silence them now only risked exposing the manipulation that fans were already starting to suspect. The turning point wasn't one single event, it was a wave. Concerts where fans shouted their names together. Brands quietly standing by their side instead of cutting ties. Even moments on screen where subtle hints of support slipped through, proving that no matter what, their story couldn't be erased. By the time enemies realized it, it was already too late. The love story of Wang Yibo and Xiao Zhan had entered history. So here's the big question, now that the truth is out, and no one can stop them, could this marriage mark the beginning of a new era in Asian entertainment? Drop your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe to Trendy Explosion TV, smash that like button, and turn on the bell, because trust me, the next chapter of this love story is going to shake the industry like never before.